and things, what they're doing is they're investing in all the families that they have a responsibility for, and to bring back value to you. What I want to do is I want to bring back the value that I experience. A lot of it, I hope a lot of it you've heard, because you know what, I have 7 coaches myself, and a lot of it I've heard for 10 years, but we need to continue to hear it over and over and over again so that we get it internalized, so it becomes second nature. Okay. And so the first thing I want to say is I want to congratulate each and every one of you. I mean, certainly DJ and Lindsay run the business, and they're only as good as the quality people that are in the organization. And that's not queued up by them. Hey, tell them, tell them that we're great. I know, and I have this problem in the work that I do is I just kind of call it like it is. But I think you guys are probably used to that, because I've found that DJ and Lindsay are pretty much straight shooters too. So I want to congratulate all of you guys on the work that you're doing and the growth. And here's one thing I want to share with you about growth though too. Growth can be scary, but growth is only scary is if we don't want to grow. Why is it important that more agents keep joining? Because here's what happens when more agents join. I want you guys to think about this. Look around the room. Each one of you in this room has benefited personally and professionally from someone in that room. It's a spirit of abundance. And just remember this. I know you guys want some strategies and tactics, and I'm going to give you the stuff that's working, but just remember this. And I know this in working with the elite like DJ and Lindsay and their peers. The operations that have very highly productive people that continue to endure and continue to grow, where each individual grows, remember this, and I write it down. The whole is bigger than the part. The whole is bigger than the part. This DJ and Lindsay, the business, it's bigger than them. It's bigger than all of you. And I just really want to encourage each and every one of you. Each have your individual goals, the things you want to create for your family and your personal life. But I'm going to promise you this, and I've learned at 53 years old, well, 53 in September, I've learned this. If I contribute to something bigger than me, and people that are beside me that maybe are in a slump or need help, I'm doing really well, okay, and I help someone that's struggling. If I do that, it's pretty magical. Not to go too kumbaya, but I just want to tell you, if you operate from a true team perspective of, listen, be focused, take your action, but look around constantly and ask yourself every day when you wake up, A, who can I help? Not just your clients, but one another. Who can I help? Because if I serve them, I'm going to get back tenfold. Number 2, who would be a great addition? Who could we add that fits? Because now, you guys, here's what happens. It's your culture. It's your responsibility to protect it and contribute to it. So I just want to encourage you guys that it's your family, it's your community. So with that said, let's jump into selling a few more houses. All those things will help you sell more houses. And so you guys have had epic growth and a great trajectory. Now, just so I'm in the right room, raise your hand if you want to sell more real estate. Oh, okay, I saw some alligator arms. Like, you really want to? Okay, good. I want to support you to do it, but here's the thing that I want you to do too. And just remember, and I know you've heard this from DJ and Lindsay, always keep your heart connected to it. Every day you show up, don't show up just to hit the numbers. What's it going to do for me? Is it going to pay off a car? Is it going to buy me a rental house by the end of the year? Is it going to do something for my mom? You got to keep the heart connected to the head, because if you stay with the head, remember, the heart chooses, the head justifies. So keep that emotional attachment to it on the days that you're struggling, on the days that things are getting in the way, on the days you don't want to get up at 3 a.m. I love getting up at 3 a.m., but I'm different. So with that said, here's what we've got to understand. We've got so much traffic running at us, so many options. And I want to tell you this, the 2 biggest objections that you guys need to overcome, and they're typically not talked about, fear and overwhelm. Write it down, remember it. And I want you to think about this. How am I overcoming fear and overwhelm? But the bigger one? Sales skepticism. Think about it. You're walking into Nordstrom's. You're going to go look at shoes. What's the first thing the shoe salesperson says to you guys?
Can I help you?
What do you say?
No.
I'm just
looking.
Good. Here's what I need you to understand. We have a program running unconsciously in the back of our head. See, you guys do so well, and I know the quality of the people are in there. I know the numbers of what you're doing, so we can talk next level. You're not a salesperson. Sure, you've got to sell. You're in the human behavior business. You need to understand the psyche of human beings. Everyone has a program, a recording going in the back of their head on how to say no. You can't change it. What you can do is create your own recording and an experience of them that gets them to say yes. I'm going to tell you this. People are tired. You know the salesperson at the party, the first thing can come up, hey, I'm John. I sell this. Do you want to buy from me? Those days are over. Those days are over. And I'm going to take you back to old school. No, like, and trust. No, like, and trust. Period. You know, did I handle my objection? Did I use my objection handler right? Did I use the script right? Did I use the dialogue right? No, ask yourself this one. Did I lower their guard? Write it down. Did I lower their guard? Because I don't care what you say to someone. If you don't lower their guard, if you don't lower sales skepticism, are they going to listen to you?
No.
No. Lower their guard. How do we lower their guard? We make deposits in the business relationship equity account. I want you to think about sales like this. Sales are going to an ATM machine, okay, with your ATM card, and you're trying to pull money out. You can't pull money out of an account you've made no deposits. I always want you to think about that. When someone's saying no, what's a deposit? What's value? Not always conversion language, okay? You see that, you know, DJ and Lindsay, the content that they'll put out there, whether it's thought leader, and I want you to think of these two things. And look who you're watching on Instagram. Look who you're watching on Facebook. Am I a thought leader and an influencer? Thought leader, influencer. And you may say, oh, I'm not an influencer. Hey, stop selling yourself short. You're a human being that's had experiences that are important to people. You're in a reality TV world. The Kardashians have trained us to believe that we get to look inside people's world. Guess what people are paying for today? Everyone's a stalker. Everyone's a voyeur. We have been programmed. That's why reality TV is number one. So I'm not saying take people to the bathroom with you. I'm saying this. Allow people to see a whole experience of you. Do you think your leads, when you start talking to them, go to your personal Facebook page? Yes or no?
Yes.
Every single time. Raise your hand if you're a stalker. Okay? We got some liars in the group. Every one of you are stalkers. Every one of us. So I want you to think about that thing too, you know, just on the back of your mind. Who's using Facebook Messenger for lead follow-up? Here's what the rookies are doing. And I'm not attacking you, I'm not judging you, I'm challenging you a little bit. See, here's what old school in today's school is doing. 3-pronged. Phone, email, text. Now, let me tell you about the next level. Phone, email, text, video. Who's going to win on that one? Video. Raise your hand if you think you need Botox, you've got a receding hairline like me, you're overweight, you're too skinny, and everyone's going to judge me if I do video. Raise your hand. Okay? Yeah, see, yeah, we've got one honest person there. You're not, here's what I know. What's really cool, you guys? You aren't afraid of video. I know. You're freaking terrified. And I got news for you. The people that do really, really big things in life, in business, and create epic experiences for their family, they're not smarter than you. They step through doorways that maybe you're not willing to step through. I'm a bouncer from a teenage nightclub, and now I coach CEOs around the world. I just stepped through doorways in rooms that maybe I thought I didn't belong in. But you know what? I had a vision. I continued to walk through those doorways, okay? Video is the game changer. Right now, I'm going to share something with you. I work with now 65 teams similar to DJ and Lindsay throughout North America, including number ones in the world, number ones in Canada, okay? And I'm going to tell you the difference maker. The people that are on average selling 1.5 to 2 homes a month, which is great. And that's great. If 2 a month is good for you, I'm not here to judge you. Sure, I can work at all levels. You know, if it's supporting your family, you're happy, 100%. We need a mix of all, okay? But if 2 or less, 1.5 doesn't work for you, if you want to be at 3 or 4, I got the magic pill. And it's not a magic pill. I know because I'm inside these organizations, okay? There's 2 of them that you need to know. It's video. I can show you right now organizations with 17, 30, 40, 35 people. They're selling 4.5 homes per month. Guess what? They aren't any smarter than you. Their leader isn't doing any more marketing than your leadership team is doing. They're just taking action, stepping through the doorways of fear. I'm going to promise you. I have nothing on any of you. Anyone that's doing more than you has nothing on any of you. But here's the thing. Their fears are not going to get in the way of their vision, okay? I want you to write this one down too, as we start talking a little bit about video. And I'm going to give you some statistical data and give you some examples, okay? My crappy video will outperform your absent video every time. I have numerous coaches. I was with one of them at 5 a.m. yesterday, and these guys, one's a YouTube coach, okay? And they were looking at this, they've got a guy that spends $150,000 a month on YouTube ads, all right? And at the end of the video, he screwed up. So if you'd like to know where to go sign up for this, go here. And they edited it. And they did the perfect ending. They A/B tested the crappy ending versus the great, perfect, smooth video. Anyone want to tell me which one outperformed the other by 100%?
Crappy.
Yes, you guys, humanize yourself. Humanize yourself. People are listen, I'm not saying be unprofessional. Show up as you are. Use framework that presents yourself in a very professional way, communicates what you want it to be, but be you. I want you to think about this in doing video, okay? There's more grammar trolls out there for every word. Your words that you write in a Facebook post are under more scrutiny than a video. And here's what I'm going to promise, and someone's going to do it or someone's done it. The first person that goes out and does a video, okay, and their very first one, I want you to send back to all of your peers here so you support one another to go out and do it. You're going to get responses back. I mean, you can even go, hey, it's John. You know, I'm out here committed to getting out there more and supporting more, working with more buyers and sellers, and this is a little bit uncomfortable for me to do video. It'll blow up. It's called the real appeal. And it's called doing something that other people are afraid to do. I promise you, it happens time and again. See, imagine this for a moment. You're going out on a listing presentation and you're competing against 3 people, okay? What if you took the night before and you said, hey, it's John, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow at 7 p.m. where we're going to share with you how to get maximum exposure so you can get moved to Pittsburgh. I look forward to seeing you then. You send that text video. You walk in. The other 2 agents don't send a text video. They do their presentation. Maybe they're a little better too. Maybe they sold more real estate. And then when you leave, because they're going to measure the 3, but you leave before you drive out and text again. Hey, it's John. Thanks so much for your time. You know, typically what happens is a lot of questions come up afterwards an appointment. So I want you to feel free to reach out to me. Who's going to win that listing? Let me tell you a story. I'm having clients be pulled out of the car. Are you still out in our driveway? Get back in the house. We'll call the other 2 people. You guys, well, I'm tech savvy. We do this. See, you can think symbolism. Hey, tell me about all your stuff you're going to do. I'm going to show you. Okay? See, the number one complaint that people have about us, I want you to watch the psyche that we're setting up with this powerful tool of video though too. The number one complaint people have about us is that we don't communicate. We don't follow up. And I know, listen, I know that we've all got our issues. We're not following up enough as often as we need to. But I'm going to tell you something. When you follow up with video, you will win. How about buyers? You ever been out there with a buyer and you're trying to build that bond and you showed them homes and you couldn't pull information out of them. You just kind of felt stuck. You wondered if they liked this or like that. And, they drive off. You drop them off. Hey, it's John. First of all, I know we looked at a lot of properties and yet there's probably a lot of questions you have. I want you to take some time and reach out to me tonight with any questions you have. And maybe if there's one that you zeroed in on, we can talk about that one too. You use that with someone that you think, geez, maybe they're not a buyer. Every time, you know what? We actually were interested in that one. Here's what I want you to get, and you need to know this. Okay, video. Everyone says video. Let me take you to the science. And I've shared this before, I think, on an earlier webinar with you guys, but I need to share it again. There's we're competing at the highest level, and you're going to see these things. There's iconic recall. See, the agent that leaves a voicemail or puts them on a saved search, which, by the way, only doing that makes them dizzy. Voicemail, text, email, okay? They're using what we call iconic recall. Iconic recall is anything that enters the brain just through the eyes. That dissipates in 1 second. Well, you know what we're going to do? Because we're pros. DJ and Lindsay team we're pros. We're better than everyone. We came here because we knew they were the best, and we're going to be the best. That's who I believe I am, and that's how I'm going to perform. So I need to act accordingly. Anything that enters the brain through the eyes and the ears, that's echoic recall. It echoes in the brain longer for 5 seconds. So here's your choice. Do you want to rely on something that dissipates in the brain after a second? Or do you want to use a tool that stays in the brain for 5 seconds? Big deal, John, you're talking seconds. Let me go into percentages and wait till I show you some 3-second statistical data. That's 500% longer staying power. So think about that. When someone's reading something gone in a second, when they hear and see it, 500%. That's iconic recall, echoic recall. They studied soap operas in the 70s. How come people are so attached to it? Well, there's a thing called parasocial behavior. The brain believes if they watch a show and start liking it, they start to believe they have a relationship with the person on the TV screen. John, what's that have to do with video? Everything. The brain can't discern. The unconscious brain, which makes choices, can't discern the difference between a moving head on a cell phone, a laptop, a desktop. It's all TV. How do you get famous? You're seen more than everyone in the most authoritative space. Video for the win, period. So there's some statistical data I want you guys to think about, and I want to take you through. Here's what's happening. The people that are using video, they're averaging 3 to 4 sales a month, like clockwork. That's average. So you've got some that are even higher. Here's what's happening. This is a marketing rule. 95% of the people, even if they'll come in as a lead, they don't have an intent. Well, so how can I build a bond? Here's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get someone to make a big decision. They're on an island over here. You're on this island. This island is where you get your home. We're trying to get them to, the sharks in the water, swim through the water. Well, no. The amygdala kicks in. They get afraid. It's fight or flight. But the real estate agent that counsels them, that informs them, that isn't always, and I'm not saying that you don't need to be a salesperson and you don't need to ask, you need to be at your people consistently. Speed of response, number of responses. And by the way, you're not bothering someone by continue to follow up that's a lead because remember, they raised their hand. I want you to think about that. When you're looking in your CRM and you're like every human being and you're concerned, geez, what I'm going to say this time, I don't want to bother him. What you're doing is your unconscious is taking over and you're thinking about a bad experience you've had with a salesperson. That's what's happening. Here's what you need to do. You need to write out when you're pausing yourself, when you're paralyzed, they raised their hand. They raised their hand. They filled out a form. They need us, okay? But here's what I want you to think about. To get someone to make a decision, a big commitment, they need to make a series of micro commitments. Now, I want to speed up the process. How do I speed up the process? By using the most impactful tools on the planet. Literally, someone can tell you a buying time frame, but the person that uses video will speed up the process because, listen, People don't make a choice until they feel comfortable right here. You've got to make emotional and psychological bonds, and video is the most powerful tool. Okay. Again, and I'm not here to scare you into doing it. I don't believe in that strategy. I believe in educating with the most impactful data that I can give you. Okay. If you choose to not do video, the person that is competing with you has 110% greater impact of their communication versus yours. Because, little sarcasm, last time I checked, how much body language is there on a phone call, an email, or a text? 0. 110%. You say, no, it's 55. No, it's 55% impact. They're doing it. You're not. That's 110. This is who's going to win. And you may be winning right now. I'd say this, you're doing good. You haven't even seen great. You haven't even seen great. And I can say that safely to those of you in this room that are hitting big numbers. Because I know if you're not using video consistently, you haven't seen the light of day yet. And that's a pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing. I just got a text message from a group and a team that really plugged out, committed to video. And one young lady just turned her 10th sale. 9, 10, 11 in a month. The theme of the environments where people are doing 9, 10, 11 on Teams video. Period. Irrefutable. We think it's something magical. It's not, but it is. It's the magic of stepping through a doorway of fear. Period. Okay. Here's the game changer. Nielsen Rating Company is the organization that measures the eyeballs that watch TV, because commercials, people want to sell commercials. And so the more eyeballs that there are on a TV show, they can sell commercials for greater money. They were so fascinated by video on social media. They went and studied videos on social media. 3 seconds of a video consumed increases impact on recalling the ad by 47%. Look what 10 seconds does. Again, the agent out there today that's doing video, this is their story. And the agent that's not, sure, you can make money, you can be successful, but over time, more people are going to do it. Let's go all the way to the other end of the spectrum. I think we all want people to buy something, right? 3 seconds of video has a 44% impact on purchase intent. This isn't made up stuff. This is the Nielsen Rating Company. They're the ones that decide how much people pay for a Super Bowl ad. This is them looking at videos on Facebook. And, you know, it only goes up to 72% impact on purchase intent if they watch 10 seconds. There's a couple things I want you to see. A, I think it's pretty clear you need to use video, okay? B, you're living in a 3 to 10 second world, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be lazy in those first 3 to 10 seconds either. Be thoughtful, hook people, make a bold statement, because that's where there's this law. And write these two down as you're presenting, as you're speaking, as you're writing marketing pieces. The law of primacy, the law of recency. The law of primacy is what we read at the beginning of a book, what we see at the beginning of a movie. Notice the beginning of a movie. They've got to pull you in. We remember that. That's primacy. The law of recency is at the end of the movie. Maybe they cliffhanger you, or they take you into a really emotional space. We tend to not remember what's in the middle as much. Those first seconds are everything, and how you end is everything, period. And then just some interesting data for you too. And this just tells you right here, I want to talk to you guys on email. And I think this paints a really neat picture, because people get so concerned about, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to be a pushy salesman. Well, I want you to notice that right here, we emailed this database of, and you'll notice at the bottom, go to the third column over to the left, you'll see the number 6,654 at the bottom there. That's how many emails were sent, okay? A database. Now I want you to go to the far left. What we did in 28 days, we emailed to them nine times. That's called every 3 days. I want to talk to you about bothering people. You're not bothering people when you give them value. Look at the email open rates, unheard of, 43%. I only demonstrate this. I want you to see a couple things. This isn't so much to go into email, but it symbolizes a couple things for you. You're not bothering people. These are people that have raised their hand. These are people that are in a database. This is a database that I manage for a client. But the thing up above, look what happens to click-through rates, duration of times that people read the email, and increase sharing and forwarding the email. 55, 44, and 41% when video is used in the email. Who's going to win? It's 2019. Okay? And now I want to give you a couple examples, and I'll get these slides over to DJ and Lindsay, okay, so that you guys have it for reference, because I got to kind of go quick in the interest of time. You know, this is someone that laughed about doing video, okay, and it's not, I don't need to do the I am wonderful. I'm fortunate enough to have the trust of DJ and Lindsay to work with me, so I'm not trying to, hey, I'm wonderful, you guys. But look at this. I still remember those conversations like the one I'm having with you right now. Like the one I'm having with you guys right now. Because some of you think I'm crazy right now. Oh, it's just, yeah, we need to do it a little bit. No, you don't. This will change your life. Here's what I know in going through my own personal journey in life. Everyone in the room's got something going on in their life they need to change. Everyone's going through a situation they want to have better. Everyone. And when you get through that one, a new one will come. And I'm not saying money solves everything, but I'm telling you something. Having a successful, thriving business can certainly impact a lot of things, okay? I still remember those conversations. Didn't know who was crazy. Or you for suggesting I do video, or me thinking I could actually do them. Probably sounds familiar to a lot of you guys right now. And then my avoidance of market updates for 1.5 months. And the first one I do, I get 8 transactions. Can't make it up. There she is. It's easy to put stuff up on there and say this person comes to my masterminds. You can look her up on social media, and then you can see the text message I was getting. So I'm going to share with you some examples, okay? So notice the long copy. How come? Because some people watch videos with sound off, okay? It gives a perception of greater value on social media. Go stand out somewhere and talk about the market. Hers was 8 minutes. You can do it in 2 minutes. Maybe there's an area you're working, okay? Local businesses connect. You see DJ and Lindsay are out there. They're out marketing for you. They're out doing things. You know, you may or may not know this, and not to say that you would minimize it. They're doing marketing others wouldn't do. Out there showing the cool eat spots. That's not just for fun. It's not for fun. It's brilliant marketing. Because you know what? People are sick and tired of the real estate agent that always runs the buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. You know what DJ and Lindsay are doing in their marketing initiative and their vision is they're saying we're connected to the community. And I'm going to tell you something. As leads come in, they're going to come in warmer. They're lowering the guard. The marketing investments they're making in those type of things, the hundreds of thousands it takes to run an organization like that, they're lowering the guard of the consumer. They're connecting with the community. Yes, this stuff works. Open houses. Stand out in front of that open house. Go Facebook Live. All that does is when you go Facebook Live, it notifies every single one of your friends. And then if they engage and they like it, then it will put it in other people's feed. You guys, what's really cool is the big dollars of entry in mass media have been lowered because of social media. You can be as much of a star or authority, influencer of the real estate industry as you want to be, period. So do them for your open houses. Just listed. Testimonials. And here's the final piece I want to give to you, give you a little bit of a dialogue and open up for any questions I can open up. Here is something that's worked really, really well. Stop waiting for the objections, handle them in advance. So this just handles one area. Here's a good little homework assignment. I want you to think about the things you're afraid of. We're all afraid. We all have fear, okay? We all have our fears. What are they going to say? What do I do in this spot? I want you to write all those down. You know what I want you to do? Stop waiting for them to happen. Handle them in advance. So here's what we do. Thanks so much for reaching out to us. If you're like most people, including me, we agree there's nothing worse than a pushy salesman. What am I doing there? I'm finding a common ground to agree with them on. So I'm relatable. And by the way, I'm lowering their sales skepticism. And I'm in my own ways instead of saying, hey, I'm not pushy. That's cheesy Mickey Mouse language. Okay? We work sophisticated in a way that connects with people. I want to reassure. There's an importance in words. One of the things I've studied diligently, and copywriting is in what you say, it's what you write. Words are important. Reassurance. They have sales skepticism, fear, and overwhelm. That's why I use the word reassure. I want to enter the conversation going on in their head. I want to reassure you that I'm going to give you the information you want, when you want it, and how you'd like it delivered, so you can. So you can is important. Language patterns and pivoting in dialogue so that people feel you're really talking to their soul. So you can have the surety and peace of mind. Surety and peace of mind. Those words are in there on purpose. Surety and peace of mind. We want surety, okay, to make an informed decision. Notice what I did at the end. When you are ready. So I've looked, but John, we want to get them in. You know what? I'll get them in quicker because I lowered their guard. So tried to jam a bunch in a short time frame. Hope it was valuable to y'all. I want to close with this. Here's the second piece who's going to win. I need you to go back to, with love and support, I want to challenge you. Go back and do some inventory. I want you to go back and look at all your leads for the last 30 days. This is the other game changer we've checked out too. The people that have contacted their leads 4 or 5 or less times, and the ones that are in the 8 to 10 times in the last 30 days, okay, they're winning big. 4, 5, 6 sales like clockwork. And I get to work in databases of people that are selling a lot of homes. That's what I'll say. Okay, large teams, teams that DJ and Lindsay are going to pass up, because you guys are going to do this work that we're asking. So, DJ, I'll open up with any questions you guys may have. Any questions I can answer? Lindsay?
I don't think so. It was awesome.
Awesome.
Gold.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate it. Keep up the great work, you guys.
I didn't do that.